very close friend of mine likes the Junghans radio-controlled solar watches, and he felt it was time for a new watch. So I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to take some footage of the Solar Force Mega Solar, a watch which is really nice and not so often seen. So I hope I can show you a very interesting watch in this video. Hello and welcome to Watch Max's videos with a focus on German watch brands. My name is Axel and I'm glad to have you on the show. If you're interested in German watches and possibly like my videos, now would be a good point to subscribe to my channel. You can do this at the lower right corner during the video or at the end at the upper right corner. But now let's move to the very interesting Junghans Solar watch. Before I start, I have to admit, taking this video was a kind of nightmare. Taking videos of a ceramic watch on a sunny day on the balcony is really hard stuff. You have reflections all over the watch. You see any tiny piece of dust and cloth and you can clean it over and over again, taking a shot and you see it. I did my very best, but during the video you will see how difficult it was. Nevertheless, enjoy the video. With the polished ceramic case and bracelet, the watch is clearly more on the dressier side rather than on the side of sports watches or divers. The diameter of 40.4mm points into the same direction, as well as the very low height of 8mm. Really nicely to wear. The water resistance of 5 bar equaling 50 meters. I personally regret a little bit a watch with a ceramic case and a ceramic bracelet is really resilient against scratches and could be worn in nearly any situation if there would be sufficient water resistance. I would take off the watch for taking a shower or bath. Junghans has a slightly different definition. They state you can wear it while bathing, but not for swimming or snorkeling. I would take it off for any of these situations. Having said that, it's a really nice dress watch with the sapphire crystal, and the watch face, the dial, is from mineral glass in order to let the light and sun pass through and build up the power reserve of the solar function. You may have already noticed a certain feature during the video when I showed you pictures and movies of the watch. The indices, starting from the index on the 1 o'clock position up to the 12 o'clock position, get thicker, a little bit thicker any hour. It's not so obvious, it's decently made, but once you've noticed it, it's a feature I like it. And the other point is the indices are not marked on the dial of the watch because it's glass and should capture light and sunlight in order to build a power reserve. It's painted directly under the top sapphire crystal. You can see this when the hands are moving below the indices. If you have a closer look, you may identify this. You can better see it if you look at the shadow of the indices, which the indices throw to the dial of the watch. A nice feature, and once I've identified it, I really liked it. The movement is an in-house movement of Junghans called J615.84, and you can receive radio signals in the US, in Europe, and you can receive both Japanese radio signal standards. The watch has a power reserve once fully loaded of 21 months, and it falls into sleep mode after 72 hours in darkness in order to save the power of the solar akku. So nicely done, and 21 months of power reserve is quite a reasonable time where you can use the watch without putting it into sunlight. There is a mobile phone app to manually adjust the time of the watch in case you move to time zones where the time shift is not a full hour but just half an hour, like for example India. Worst case, not radio controlled, but at least according to the local time. The LCD display at the 6 o'clock position by standard shows the date of the month, but you can also switch to an indicator if and when you receive the last radio signal for time setting, and you can also manually initiate the receipt of the radio time signal if the automatic receipt failed and you just want to make sure you have the exact and correct time. The bracelet is, as well as the case, from polished ceramic with little rubber pieces in between, so there are no gaps where the hairs on your arms could get stuck or ripped off. Nothing hurts. Really nicely. It's not as stiff as it might look. It's really comfortable to wear on the arm. Even the outer side of the bracelet is ceramic, while the inner folding mechanism is titanium to further reduce the weight. The watch has a proprietary strap link system, which kind of makes it difficult to switch to a leather strap, which is a slight disadvantage from my point of view. However, the advantage of this solution is that you have a very integrated link of the bracelet to the case, and it allows a very nice and neatly done case shape, which wouldn't be so present if you had a leather strap or could change easily the strap.